Do not feel guilty for not enjoying every minute. Hello, all of you beautiful, birthing, pregnant, postpartum, a whole gamut of people. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth. I am a labor and delivery and postpartum nurse, as well as a certified childbirth educator, and I make videos on pregnancy, labor, postpartum, breastfeeding, motherhood, all of those great things. So if you want to join me on this journey, definitely subscribe and head on over to my Instagram, where I am uploading tons of information and reels a little bit more frequently than I am on my YouTube channel currently. But my video today is going to be all about surviving the fourth trimester, aka the 3 months after your baby is born, when shit is hitting the fan and you are just trying to make it through the day. Here are my tips for you. Now this video, I am partnering with Womblekin, who I partnered with before. You guys know they have amazing pregnancy, labor, postpartum boxes. So they have reformulated their boxes to really just have one for pregnancy, one for labor, and one for postpartum, meaning that there is way more goodies in each box. A little bit more expensive, but you definitely get some really good bang for your buck. And they've taken a lot of the really good feedback that their consumers, you guys, have given them, and curated boxes that are absolutely fabulous. So many things in this box I used postpartum with my last baby, who is now almost 6 months old, and there are some new goodies as well that I want to show you guys that I think are going to be really helpful in your postpartum journey. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Oh, and before I forget, I'm uploading this video on Cyber Monday. If you're watching this video on Monday, you can get the most money off Womblekin that you've ever been able to get. If you use the code ZABE30, it will get you 30% off for this whole day of Monday. So I wanted to mention that in the beginning of the video. I'll mention it again at the end because it is such a good deal, and you can do the pregnancy, labor, or postpartum box. So definitely go check that out. The link will be in my description. So when we are talking about the postpartum period, I think it's really important to just understand that you can't really understand until you're in it. But there are definitely some tips, some things that we can do beforehand to prepare for this period. This period is very vulnerable for a multitude of reasons. One, you have just given birth, and whether that is a vaginal birth or a cesarean birth, that is a lot of trauma, physical trauma that your body is going through, that you are healing from. Then you add sleep deprivation. Then you add a new human being that you're attempting to care for, feed, figure out. Then you add all of the emotions and hormones that are going on, and then you add in a partner. It can be a recipe for disaster. And for me personally, I don't postpartum good. I am not a cute fourth trimester, and that's why I wanted to make this video, because I think it's so important that we work on preparing. So the first tip that I have for you is to prepare during your pregnancy for the postpartum period. We spend hours and days thinking of a birth plan, poring over birth videos and books. A lot of people kind of forget about this postpartum period, and the postpartum period lasts a lot longer than your labor will. So when we're thinking about preparing, we want to obviously prepare ourselves for the process, right? And think about, what do we need, basic human things to survive during the fourth trimester. We need to eat. So I have a video on freezer meals. I wanted to give an update on those freezer meals. The ones that I made were fabulous and delicious. Several of them, as we were moving, because we've done a lot of moving in the first 6 months of my daughter's life, ended up getting thrown away by my husband, who thought that they looked like they were really old, even though he had just watched me make them. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but the ones that we made were delicious. Freezer meals definitely were a staple, as well as having people bring us food. Some people sent us DoorDash gift cards, some people ordered us food from restaurants, some people simply brought us home cooked meals. Those were all fabulous. Meal trains are a great thing to do. Another thing that somebody mentioned on Instagram is every month during your pregnancy, buy yourself a gift card to a different restaurant. and that way you have some variety, because obviously eating at home you can make really healthy options, but there are times when you're just going to be exhausted and you need to get food in your face. The other thing that I think it's really important to think about and prepare postpartum is having a conversation with your partner. So the person who's going to be helping you with the baby, having those conversations before you have the baby about how different routines are going to work. Like how mornings are going to work. Are they going to let you sleep and take care of the older children so that you can get a little bit more rest? Are they going to take over cooking? Are they going to take over some of the cleaning? When they get home from work, what is their responsibility going to look like with the baby? Because having those conversations before you have your baby, even if the decisions that you make change after baby's born, are really going to help start those conversations in a way that they don't come forward in that postpartum period as anger. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm doing everything. You're not helping at all. You're not doing the right thing. Oh, I'm so frustrated. If you've already had some conversations during your pregnancy and also again postpartum, it's going to be really, really beneficial because again, we know that this is going to be a time of upheaval potentially, and a time where there is going to be some miscommunications and some anger towards your partner who is doing probably less than you are. And it's through no fault of their own, but especially if you're breastfeeding, like you're going to be the one that's doing a lot of the care for babies. So there needs to be some compromise in some other care tasks that are done around the house, especially with sleep, because we know that the best thing that we can do for postpartum depression, the best thing that we can do to protect your mental health is to get you a 4-hour chunk of sleep every single day. Does it need to be at night? No, but it needs to be 4 consecutive hours ideally. Now, if your baby's having issues with weight gain, immediately postpartum when you're waking baby up every 2 to 3 hours to breastfeed, this might not happen. But in those first few weeks, we definitely want to make sure that you are getting a 4-hour chunk of sleep somewhere. And if that's that your partner is helping hold the baby while you sleep, or somebody's coming over during the day so you can get that chunk of sleep during the day, we know that sleep is so important. You need to prioritize your sleep. Speaking of getting help from your partner, I think it's important to know that postpartum in that 4th trimester, you need to be able to accept help and ask for help. If somebody offers to do something for you, even if maybe they weren't serious, hello, maybe you shouldn't have offered. Say, yes, thank you. Here's what I can have you do for me. This might be cleaning, laundry, meal prep, holding the baby so you can take a shower. I feel like a lot of people are like, taking a shower isn't self-care. But those people are not living on the edge and really struggling to do things day to day with sleep deprivation and having just had a baby. Standing in a shower for 10, 15 minutes, letting the hot water run down on your face while you change from one pair of pajamas to another pair, that can be self-care in the 4th trimester. And being able to accept help so that you are able to do things like that for yourself, or even more actual self-care items, definitely going to be important. Your house is not going to be as spotless. Your life is not going to be perfectly in order when you've just had a baby. I think it's important to understand that we were meant to raise our families and our children in a village, and our villages have changed a ton in modern society, and then a ton again with COVID. The thing about knowing and accepting that you can't do it all is that it's okay to let some things go. If you could see the rest of this room right now, you know it's okay to let some things go. Having mental health check-in is so important. And that's something that Wumblekin has in their box. Let me pull it out because I want to show you guys. The Wumblekin has partnered with Canopy, and this is actually an app that gives you access to mental health check-ins, and I'm going to do a little side-by-side swipe and kind of show you what it's all about. But it was created to prevent and address symptoms of postpartum depression through short interactive audio-based sessions, and it's designed to make all new moms feel good and give them resilience building tools to last a lifetime. This is amazing. What a gift to have a mental health check-in, because that's so important. For me personally, mental health is something that I super struggle with postpartum. I really wish that I had had this, because it is really hard and it can be really difficult to check in with yourself and even realize what's going on. How difficult and sinister postpartum depression can be, because what happens is that there's so many changes going on in your life that you don't realize that you have postpartum depression sometimes. Sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, so many things have changed. I have this brand new baby. My life is in chaos now. Like, is this just who I am now? Is this just me? It can be hard to recognize that it's not. And I wish that I had had that, especially with my second child, where I really struggled and had never had postpartum depression before, because I think that that would have helped me get treatment and seek help so much sooner. Talked a lot about the emotional side of our postpartum period, but let's talk a little bit about the physical side, which is what Womblekin has a lot of stuff in here for. So we have two different things that I think are beneficial to have. Treats for your seats, perineum, vaginal area, and then treats for your teats. These being your teats. These are the two stations that I had. So Womblekin makes it pretty easy because they have some really good treats for your seats, and I use these and loved them. Okay, they are the Honey Pot Postpartum Herbal Infused Pad with Wings. These are so nice. They're like cooling. They feel super good on any tears you have. They feel chef's kiss on any hemorrhoids. So I really enjoyed these with my last baby. I got them in my Womblekin box that I used. They also will partner really well with any spray that you have. So if you have a Dermaplast numbing spray, Tux pads are all treats for your seats that I love. Squirt bottle that you get from the hospital. My recommendation is build a kit for every single bathroom that you're in so that you have treats for your seats in every bathroom. I really love these pads. And then the other thing that they have that I have not tried, but I've heard amazing things from patients, is the Herbal Perineal spray. Take care of down there. This has witch hazel in it, which again is what's going to be found in those tucks, and it will make things feel nice after you use the bathroom. You can also keep it in the fridge just like those Tux pads for extra cooling. So that's super nice. The other treat for your seat that's not included in this box, it's far too large, but I really recommend, is something called a sitz bath. So I love sitz baths. I give them out to everybody. Most people are like, I've never heard about it. It's like a little jacuzzi for your booty, and it's just a way to get some nice heat on your bottom, to get those healing cells there. It feels really, really nice if you have tears, if you have hemorrhoids. I have a whole video on if you're giving birth in the United States in a hospital, what to kind of take home with you from the hospital. So definitely check that out, because a lot of the treats for the seats you can get for free from your hospital. Pro tip. Now, when we're talking about treats for the teats, there are a few things that I particularly like. So Hydrogel Pads, absolutely fabulous. These are by Amita. These are just little gel pads that fit into your bra. So if you have nipples that are having any issues with cracks, bleeding, irritation, there's absolutely nothing worse than your nipple getting stuck to your bra and then having to peel your bra off of it. So that's where these come in handy. You can also throw them in the fridge for extra cooling. The other thing that I love are the Silverettes. These are silver, which you know has antimicrobial, antifungal properties. And so these fit right over your nipples, and they just allow them to heal. And again, let your shirt not ride up against them. So these were great. The few times that I had cracks, which mostly came from pumping and not so much from my baby, I really enjoyed and appreciated these. The other thing that they have included in the Womblekin box are these beautifully packaged reusable breast pads by Kindred Bravely. So you get quite a few in here. These are great in those early days when your breasts are leaking, when you might wake up in a little bit of a puddle. These will help you feel nice and dry and secure. They also will help keep your nipples nice and warm if you're somebody who experiences vasospasms. Hello, that's really important. Speaking of breastfeeding and breastfeeding your baby in the middle of the night, another recommendation that I got from some of you guys that I absolutely love, and something that I did myself, was that I made sure in the middle of the night, whenever I was breastfeeding, that I had something that I really enjoyed to watch or listen to, like an audiobook or read. So shows, I love shows that are funny, that kind of get those oxytocin, endorphin hormones flowing to help your milk come. My favorites for that would be like The Office, Parks and Rec. I would love to hear what shows you watch while you're breastfeeding. So obviously we've talked about sleep and the importance that that plays in your mental health, but then there's something else that also plays an important role in your mental health, and it is sunlight, sunshine. Now it is currently like 8 p.m. and pitch black outside because, hello, winter, the worst, but getting outside with your baby is going to be really beneficial for you. And one way to do that, both in the summer and in the winter, but particularly in the winter, is through baby wearing. So we have gotten the Moby Wrap in our Wumblekin box. This is in a great navy color. I have this already. I use it. Rosie went through a phase where she only wanted to nurse wrapped in the wrap. In the dark closet. So that's what we would do. We get trapped in the closet. I know R. Kelly's the worst, but that's what I would think of every single time we would nurse in the closet. She still loves to nurse in the carrier, but now she does not have to be in the closet. Thank the Lord. If you guys would like a reel or something about how to nurse in a carrier like this, I can definitely do that for you. Because when they're little itty bitty babies, the Moby Wrap ring sling are my favorites, and I really appreciated having this one from my Wumblekin box. So I think in my last Wumblekin box, I talked a lot about my mental health and the meditation that I was doing when I was having a lot of time sleeping because I was really anxious at like 5 in the morning. And I talked about this really amazing smelling essential oil mix that they have, and they have it in here again. And this is something that I loved, just opening up and smelling really deeply so that I could kind of go through my meditations. It really helped when I was feeling anxious at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then the other two things that they have in here are for baby. So these little sock booty things that I love. I hate actual baby socks because they don't stay on. These have snaps, and they have 2 different size snaps so that they can fit as baby gets a little bit bigger. Rosie's feet just outgrew these, and you will notice with a baby invariably, even if it's hot outside, that their hands and feet tend to be a little bit on the cooler side, so it's nice to have something that actually stays on even if you're having a baby in the summer months. And then the other thing that we have in here is the Dr. Brown's bottle. I've always used Dr. Brown's bottles with my babes. These are nice because with the green vents you can take them out or leave them in. Those help with gas and colic. These bottles hold up to 5 ounces, which is all a breastfed baby will ever need, is between 4 and 5 ounces, sometimes even less than that. And it comes with the slow flow nipple, which is all your breastfed baby will ever need. So this is definitely in our bottle rotation downstairs. So the last 2 things that I want to talk about are things that I think were really important for me this last time going around postpartum, is a hygiene station. So when you have immediately just had a baby and you're back at home and you are feeding your baby and you're waking up multiple times overnight, I think it's really important to have your bedside table be a station where you can have everything you could possibly need to sustain yourself and be ready to go to sleep, because invariably, I mean, maybe you're amazing, but for me, I would be like, I'm not gonna brush my teeth. I'm just gonna sleep with my contacts in. I'm gonna sleep with my makeup on. I'm not gonna drink any water. I don't need a snack, I'm not moving. And then it's like, actually I needed to do all of those things. So I loved having at my bedside table contact solution and a contacts case so that I could take my contacts out, makeup wipes, anything I might need for breastfeeding. So I liked the LV Curve, similar to a Haka, but it fits in your bra to collect any extra milk for baby. Other things that I would have would be like a water bottle, snacks in my drawer, the Crest like wisp things so that I could brush my teeth, because I wasn't making myself a priority because I was making sleep a priority, and sleep is really important, but your physical health and taking care of yourself is important too. So having all those things there were really, really helpful. And then the last piece of advice that I have for you that I think may be one of the most important besides sleep, do not feel guilty for not enjoying every minute. Do not feel guilty if you have moments where you're like, damn, this is hard. And I kind of wish right in this moment that I did not have this baby with me. Do I love my baby? Yes, 100%. Would I do anything for my baby? 100%. Do I want somebody to come take this baby away so I can take a nap for an hour? 200%. Don't feel guilty if there are moments when you're like, I'm not sure if I'm cut out for this. You are. I promise you are. But having those feelings are so normal. And when people are like, oh my gosh, like, oh, you're gonna miss it. Savor every moment. Well, no, Barbara. I don't want to savor this moment. This moment's really hard and I'm struggling. Am I gonna savor those baby smiles? Yes. That newborn smell? Mm-hmm. But I don't have to love every moment to enjoy parenthood and to enjoy being a mother. And you do not either. So, those are all of my tips for surviving the 4th trimester. Thank you for Mumblekin for sending us this box and for that 30% off code, ZABE30, which you can use all of today, Monday, Cyber Monday, here in the States, maybe everywhere. I don't know. Do you guys have Black Friday and Cyber Monday internationally? Let me know down below. And also, if you have any other postpartum 4th trimester tips, leave those down below as well. I'm so excited to be in a new space, and I have so much new content coming for you guys in the month of December. So until my next video, bye guys.